Hello, listener, and welcome to this special exhibition game of Unbound. My name's Grant Howard, and I'm joined today by co-author of Unbound, Christopher Taylor.
Hello.
Not a co-author of Unbound, but author of Bite Marks, Becky Annison, and Lovecraft-esque.
Hello.
And author of more things than I can count, or have time to read out, Mr. Keiron Gillen.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we're here to play Unbound for you. I wanted to try and put together an example game of session 0, so we can sort of show what this game can do and how exciting it is to make a world together. So hopefully it should be interesting. Please have a listen along with us. And I was about to say, if you have any questions, wait till the end. But this is a one-way communication system, so you can't do that. Find me online. The first thing which we're going to do is we're going to pick out some touchstones. So touchstones are a list of 52 words, which Chris and I came up with many moons ago. They're on page 13 of the document. Wait, I don't know what... I've got an old version of the document. Chris, what page are they on?
Hang on. They are on page 27 of the document.
The way I like to do touchstones is to have every player draw one. We read them out, we write them down, and then we'll do that 3 times to try and work out which is the group we're most interested in. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so draw a card and tell me what word you get.
Beasts.
Beasts.
Also got beasts.
Double beasts.
Double beasts.
Hang on, I'll redraw mine. Pirates.
Ooh.
I am transhumans.
Beast, pirates, transhumans. Fuck. Hang on. Beast, pirates, transhumans, and what did I get? Aliens. Okay. Well, there's definitely something there. Again.
A lost civilization.
A lost civilization.
Stone.
I got Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades is Zeppelins.
Stone Zeppelins, the famous...
Stone Zeppelins. Yeah.
No one knows why the civilization was lost. I drew heavy armour.
I forgot this Zeppelin will never take up with the stone and the heavy armour. It's like...
Alright. Last one, please.
Sorcery.
Crime.
Bugs.
Bugs. And Jack of Spades. Ice. So, we've drawn some touchdowns here, and the options we have are beasts, pirates, transhumans, and aliens, or transhumanism, a lost civilization, stone, zeppelins, and heavy armour. There's something there.
That's Warhammer Dwarves.
Yeah.
Kind of. And sorcery, crime, bugs, and ice. I kind of want to redraw ice on that one, because I feel sorcery, crime, and bugs has something sexy. Give me a second.
I think there's something to do with that, yeah.
That was bugs again. Jesus. The dead.
I mean, that's got something... The sorcery bugs one has something narcotic insects.
Oh.
Sort of street magic and people putting nasty scarabs under their skin for the effects.
Cool. Beetle drugs.
Go crime drug dealing, yeah. So, like, somebody meets you in an alleyway and they open their trench coat and they've got bugs,
that's a load of scarab
bugs
beetles.
crawling out.
It's just
pockets.
millipedes.
What you're in the market for.
It's like The Wire. You get like, can we get a bug? You know, and that's the kind of...
Yeah.
Boo. The first 3 hours immediately went to Dr. Moreau. You know, obviously, you've got the beasts, you've got the transhumanism, you've got pirates, as if the Dr. Moreau monsters got off the island and now they're actually all the pirates or something like that.
I'm envisioning the aliens. I'm envisioning something like quite hopeful sci-fi about dashing pirates flying around in spaceships. But like, well, I suppose beasts, pirates, transhumans, aliens is Bucky O'Hare.
With aliens, of course, Moreau was H.G. Wells, wasn't it? So, of course, you've also got the aliens there. So you've got the Moreau. You know, if the Moreau aliens end up taking over the alien empire, you've now got the Moreau aliens in space. We could put this in the HGWU. Yeah.
Okay, I want to argue very quickly for a lost civilization, stone, zeppelins, and heavy armor, because I really like the idea of zeppelins that have an enormous stone globe with like magic coming out and gold and shit, hovering around ominously. I think there's something quite cool about that.
My image I got is like, you've got the zeppelin, and the zeppelins don't fly, they drag along the ground. So you've got the stone rolling along the ground, but you've got the Zeppelin above it. And that's, they've got this sort of like lurching along the landscape, and they can't, or like the actual people are Zeppelin, and they need to be attached to the stones, because otherwise, they need, all the people are Zeppelin, and if they go into the sky, they all die. So they've got to be tied down. And it's...
Oh, so the stone's like an anchor.
Yeah, that's right, an anchor. There is a technical word for a way to
for a rock on the ground. Yeah.
I also quite like the idea of heavy armor made out of magical stone.
But stone armor on a Zeppelin that's floating in the air would look very cool.
Yeah.
It would, and also just dropping the armor into civilizations to go and steal some treasure.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You just you just fly over Shambhala and just drop these stone mechs in. Like, right, lads, pick up the vases.
I quite like the idea, because like at that point you could play the people who were living in Shambhala, and then like these giant stone orbs are coming in and dropping in these guys, and you have to try and fight them off. Okay, I'm gonna put forward what the kind of the pictures which I think we've all worked which we've worked towards on these, and then we're gonna pick one as a group. So there's beasts, pirates, transhuman aliens, which is Dr. Moreau, manimals flying around in ships, lasers, Bucky O'Hare, probably quite camp, quite big and quite fun. We've got Lost Civilization, stone, zeppelins and heavy armor, which is about I'm getting kind of a vaguely Incan vibe, but you're dropping power armored suits made out of magical stones into temple and like smashing through floors of temples. And then you've got sorcery, crime, bugs, and the dead, which I'm envisaging as more of a kind of a low-power urban horror scenario where you probably play... I don't know what you'd be playing, we've got different cores available, but the power would come from magical bugs, which are a kind of drug bugs. So, Chris, which one are you feeling?
I'm kind of feeling the Zeppelin-based one, honestly. I like dropping into, like, those sections in Uncharted when he finally gets to a new sort of lost city? It's that, but from the air, and you're Ripley in a power suit. Just I think there's a lot we can do with the power suits.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing HG... My day job is HG Wells, so even mentioning that is that. And the third idea feels a bit very Spirey. You know what I mean? So it feels quite... And whilst the middle one feels something quite different to what all of us kind of do. So also, imagine being the boulder in Indiana Jones. That's kind of...
As loose as Unbound is, you could take traps as your weapon.
Yeah.
And you just happen to have giant boulders rolling around near your enemies.
But it's also, I mean, like, you've actually got a great mechanic, because, okay, we are people, and we're jumping down into temples, and with the stone zeppelins, and it's kind of dungeoneering in the most purest kind of Indiana Jones-esque way. Yeah, there's a lot I like that.
Straight to level 4.
Yeah.
Becky,
I'm really kind of tempted by the bug, sorcery, undead, low power, but I would be very happy to go with stone zeppelins dropping stone power mech armor into an Indiana Jones situation. So I'd be happy with either of those. I'm not feeling Bucky O'Hare today.
No, that's fair. I think Bucky O'Hare is the weakest draw. I think Kieran's got a good point about it being different from our day jobs, in that it's not like the sort of games and things we normally write. So I think that could be quite good fun to have a go with that. So we will put sorcery, crime, bugs, and the dead over to one side, and we will join our friends in Stone Zeppelins.
Can I quickly pitch the name of the series? It's Indiana Stones, isn't it?
No! Why did I invite you on? Indiana Stones.
Puns and copyright infringement.
Together.
Indiana Stones. So, pick a core. So, the core of your group is kind of your group identity. This will be the theme for your party. So I'll run down what the call will do. It will give me a series of questions to ask you, which will help us define the setting. But it will also give you your healing power, which is kind of your big recovery action. There are 6 cores available, and they are devout, people of faith who bring light to dark places; magi, experts on a quest for hidden knowledge; outlaw, rogues fighting against the system; pact-bound, agents in service to an otherworldly power; warrior, military operatives in active combat; and wild, defenders of the natural places of the world.
So I think devout has issues of like extreme colonialism there.
Oh, I mean, like turning up and dropping power armored mechs into a temple is quite colonial.
No, I understand that, but like if it's a lost civilization and it's all like creepy monsters in there now, that's fine.
Demons, skeletons.
Yeah. Whereas if you're going in there to bring faith to them, that feels a bit missionary.
Yeah.
So I guess Magi seems like the obvious one.
Magi is the logical one, I think. I mean, the only thing I was going to say is, like, if it's our lost civilization, in other words, these things are like Chernobyl. The idea, as in like if you make it about clearing up your own civilization's mess, you can sidestep the colonialism there.
Yep.
Well, that's a nice idea. Yeah, I like that. Brilliant. Okay, so that's interesting. Yes, good point. Well done. Well dodged. I think having it as like an actively dangerous place where like there's skeletons or zombies or demons or what have you, but also I'm guessing like getting like malign intelligences and like lich priests and bone dragons or like dead gods which are there, so I can have some NPCs to throw against you and you can, so there's someone to talk to. I don't just want to make it a straight war zone or just an abandoned temple. So the other thing about Unbound is if we were running this as an actual campaign, the idea would be that we'd run through one of these cores now, and then after like 5 or 6 games, we'd pick a different core and explore it from another side.
Cool.
So at that point, you could play Wild, who are like you would play the demons fighting off the Stone Zeppelins or what have you, or what happens afterwards. I've put forward Magi. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to put forward Packbound. In that you're bound to your god that is still like in a black stone sarcophagus in the middle of this city.
We're going to rescue God.
And you're obligated to come back here. Like, you don't want to because it's terrifying.
Oh, I like that.
But it gives it a kind of Colonial Marines feel where you're dropping into somewhere very dangerous because you have to. Not necessarily because you want to.
And it ups the weird as well, which I quite like. There's a dead pantheon who've all been interred here.
Yeah.
And you could all be like bound to the dreams of a different dead god.
Yeah, and they're all like in certain specific temples in ritual sites.
Well, that's fun. I like that.
Yeah. We'd explain why we're forming from the sky as well. That basically makes us kind of angels or something. Like, like that.
Oh, there we go.
Angels on a mission to rescue God.
I'm sorry, Stone Angels.
Stone Angels.
I am fully erect.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm switching to Chris for Packbound. Does anyone else have an offer?
I want to make a pitch. I'm going to make a pitch for Outlaws.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So we're the rebellion against some horrendous regime, and inside these temples there are either secrets of our own history that have been kept from us, or powerful artifacts and weapons that we can use to make the rebellion a success, or even just a sort of a token or a totem to get the people to rally around us. Many, many years ago in history, I think there was a period where the English kings went through a phase of trying to align themselves with King Arthur and make out like they had something to do with him, because it made the population feel all excitable and patriotic. So there's something like that, some kind of myth or legend that we can tie ourselves to buried there.
We could bind the two together.
I kind of like the idea that it's something really simple, like a banner,
Yeah.
like the original flag or something that got changed by the regime.
I mean, like, you could tie those ideas together quite easily. Like, literally us breaking out our gods is the kind of, it is as simple as that. They took our gods, we're taking it back.
They killed them.
Yeah. With Packbound, where it'd be more about, it's more supernatural. So there would be enemies who are drawing power from another worldly source who are set against you. With Outlaw, it's a more urban setting. It's a more urban core. It's more of we're going to do a crime. What's our crime? Who stands against us? Who's out? It's more of a traditional heist setup. And I think I quite like the combination of that. Like, we're going to go steal our gods back and bring them back to life. That has kind of a sexy vibe to it. And like they could be summed up in a banner or what have you. It could be an item which
and also we can mix and match kind of the Indiana Jones vibe, because Indiana Jones will turn up somewhere and there'll already be a load of Nazis waiting. So there's like little squads of the regime in here as well, and sometimes you just see them obliterated on the floor by the time you get there. And sometimes they're active and firing at your whatever tech level we go with,
I guess like they could be hunting for they're hunting for us, or they're hunting for you. I'm not a player. They're hunting for you, or they're hunting for the capacity to try and double kill the gods, or to take the gods for their own ends, or what have you.
Yeah, I mean, you can have both. Like, literally, we're being hunted at all times from outside the dungeon boss. They've got to keep the bodies safe. So you've got all the classics on Indiana Jones. Don't let anyone near the dead gods anymore. And you've still got people coming after us all the time. So, and it's basically the security turning up. So we're going in, and we're always, as soon as the alarm goes off, they know the actual troops, that the heavy anti-us units arrived to try to seal us in and bury us with our god.
Are the heavy anti-us units bigger Stone Zeppelins?
Probably.
I mean, why not?
Everything runs off Stone Zeppelin.
It can range from big Stone Zeppelins to just like a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
Just a lot of generic troop unit.
That could be, yeah. And I think we can have some fun having them in a sort of like fascistic Nazi sort of way, because that gives us full license to just kick them off buildings and stuff.
Makes it okay to shoot them in the face.
So I'm going to go for Nazis ? Or Nazi-esque.
Yeah.
I'd like some sort of like ghost towns or like towns of the dead, or by ghost towns I mean ghosts, like towns full of ghosts. Like somewhere where I can put NPCs where we can have some stuff which isn't just a series of fights or puzzles.
Well, what about the priests of the gods? They got interred with them.
You know that guy in Japan who was still fighting World War II 30 years later?
Yeah.
That?
But they did die.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the first. I mean, like you've got stuff like the first emperor in China when you've got everything was buried with him. So like you've got anything you want down there, I imagine.
Spectral horses.
The whole city was buried. Yeah. Like the whole city was interred and smashed over and pushed down into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you could have that kind of like I can't remember what they're called, but it's a botanical garden with like the geodesic domes over the top. Like they've actually like concrete bunkered over the city. So it's dark, and you drop through the roof.
You smash
and then you drop through building
such
and building
a cool
and building.
entry. Oh my days, yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, we're having that, yeah. And you got to like climb back up to find a pickup point.
Yeah, your evac point is the hole in the roof that's letting through the sunlight.
I think you should definitely have a hovering sphere, which is yours.
Yeah.
Which you can then sort of like steer over to bits and jump out and smash through. I think that's quite cool.
Can we have small pockets of the survivors of the priesthood who made it through, like eating mushrooms in the dark?
Yes.
Absolutely. And like
eyes
and
healed
they
over,
down
that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Like
mushroom priests. Mushroom priest pockets.
This
is definitely coming back. I mean, I mentioned Chernobyl earlier, but the coffin they have over the Chernobyl reactor, the big concrete coffin. This is that with a god basically, and that and you've got also like the game and the movie Stalker in terms of the zone of the dead god. And it's going to make everything really weird in there, just because like so. There's as you say, like hermits in there, leftover priests. All that.
Yeah, reality started going fucky.
I love that. I love the idea that the kind of with the god cut off from its worshippers inside this coffin has started to decay and deteriorate, and everything like reality is just not right in there anymore because all their power is concentrated in this one place.
Yeah,
it's that's the god's coffin. I really like that. Yeah, you're breaking into the coffin. It's a dungeon crawl.
Yeah, and the entire city is not a place of honor.
Yeah. Yes, right. So. With that end, I think it's outlaw. You're definitely not on the side of the heroes. Sorry, you are the hero. You're not on the side of the state. So what you need now is a core foundation. So what foundations are? Foundations are your skills, basically. If you have relevant foundation when you're in a dramatic scene rather than the battle scene, you're slightly better at doing the thing. So the sample, your core foundation, you all share, and that kind of gives you your base. So like I'll read some of the sample core foundations here: roving jet cycle gang, explosive collared supervillains, no grave could hold us down, and now we want revenge. Hang on, is anyone here not an agent provocateur? That sort of thing. So that lets you define your group's core competencies, and then you can sort of like specialize afterwards. So what are we feeling for? And also one thing as well, we will probably change this later on once we've written much more of the setting as we go through. This is just a place to start from, and then we can start tweaking it. But you are at the moment a scrappy group of rebels who are trying to break your god out of dead. How can we sum that up in a pithy sentence?
Drop troop resurrectionists.
Ooh. Oh, that's got a nice ring to it.
I was liking Now We Want Revenge.
Yeah. I was thinking that even a suggestion the no grave can hold us down, and now is that's kind of if we were all dead and now we're trying to bring back our dead god, there's a kind of
I like that.
I also quite, because that's the thing, it's quite hard to die in Unbound. So I quite like the idea that you're all playing like reborn priests or something. Or like folk heroes.
Probably want to stay away from priests, just as we're not devout types, you know.
Not devout, okay.
Kept alive by a curse, always a nice one.
Classic.
Like, were you the guardian of this? Were you like the paladins of this god, or the agents of this god, and then like you died, and now you've been sort of woken up by the revolution? No, I kind of want it to be more human than that.
Yeah. And also, it wouldn't explain why we're dropping in. we'd already be there.
Oh, you were extracted to be in a gallery because you're all beautiful works of art.
I feel it's almost more like some of the priests escaped and the faith continued underground for like 1,000 years. And the nice thing about that is that we can all be adherents of the faith, but what we think of as the faith has gone through like 1,000 years of culture shift and people shift and oral tradition. So what we find might be nothing at all what we think we're going to find.
Yeah, that's quite new.
What is it? I was picturing a bunch of these kind of god tombs as well. So there's a, there's a pantheon.
Yeah, like a whole,
There's a buried pantheon. And this has suddenly become very Evangelion in my head in terms of like it's all building towards seeing what the gods are in the.
Oh, that's the second campaign. You do a warrior core where you've got the gods and it turns out they're about 80, 90 foot tall robots.
Like you just have your foundation is like, we will see the face of God.
Yeah.
I like that as a foundation.
Like,
it's a really sexy phrase. What skill check does that power?
So it's the kind of religious determination, because like we don't fully understand our religion. Like we understand the modern iteration of it. Like the Church of England is a modern iteration of various older religions. And we're starting to learn more about what it used to be.
Something pilgrim?
I say, are we drop pod pilgrims or something? That was
drop pod pilgrim.
Drop pod pilgrims.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because that gives us kind of
drop ship pilgrims.
Drop ship pilgrims. Yeah.
Drop pod.
Yeah.
Because that gets the Zeppelins in. Because that gives us a kind of basic military understanding almost.
Yeah. Dropship pilgrims. There you go. Yeah, and that gives you that, like, you can. I figure a lot of you will be ex-military with that, or you have the capacity to be ex-military. It's not a full like open warfare like the warrior core.
Yeah.
So you're still this is much more behind enemy lines, as it were. But behind enemy lines is a buried city of the gods full of mad priests. All right, gorgeous, brilliant, love it. Next up,
questions.
We got some questions. Yeah. So Outlaw. So. Outlaws, it says, what's the name of our city and what's weird about it? I think we might have got that. Don't know what the name is, but we've got a rough idea of why the city's weird, because it's a city of buried gods.
It's a giant coffin.
Can we get like a cool Latin word for coffin?
And we got Googling.
Or another word for... Yeah, another word. Chris, can you power up thesaurus.com, our most visited website?
That's most of my job.
Typing words I say aloud into thesaurus.com.
Making them sound good.
Mausoleum, sepulchre.
Sarcophagus.
We could get Memento Mori. I'm trying to think of a pun involving a god in there, though.
Stop doing puns. Death basket.
Mausoleum. Catacomb.
Deicide.
It's a lost civilization we're working from, right? So maybe we don't actually know what the city's called now.